Hi everybody, welcome back to Cannabis Rosin Crafts, and today we're going to make THC 5mg capsules from your own homemade rosin. So that's what we have here. We have my homemade rosin. This was pre-done. I usually make a bunch at a time and then decarboxylate it and then pour them out into 1.33 gram packages, which at 75% THC is what I calculate is these come out to be 1 gram packages. So we're going to be using that today. Along with, you'll see posted in the links is a formula for the 5mg capsules and also some labels. And we'll talk about that. So the first thing, let's review the ingredients. So sunflower lecithin. This is a phospholipid. It's hydrophilic and hydrophilic, which means it likes water and oil, which is a great incorporator to products, not just this product, but cooking in general. So it helps bind the products together. Lecithin has also been shown to increase bioavailability of your products. So this is a key ingredient I like to use. I also like to use the liquid one for capsules, and I also have a powdered one for other things that we'll see videos about. But here's the sunflower lecithin. I already pre-weighed out the amount I needed here, which is 6.19 grams. The next ingredient is the lemon, crystallized lemon. I like to use these True Lemon packets. These are real nice. These are equal to like one wedge of lemon, and they're really handy just in general in your house. If you're like always running out of lemon or don't use the whole lemon, you just use these for your drinks. They're great. But one packet of these contains about 0.8 gram. And in our formula today, we need 1.238 grams. I like to use a 2% concentration of these, which these packets here are about 25% citric acid. So it gives me enough citric acid in there to act as a preservative. The next ingredient is the buttered powder. So this is the buttered powder. You get these online, all these ingredients. But this is a dehydrated buttered powder. So it's a great product. Obviously, it's fat, right? And fat helps to increase the absorption of your cannabis. And that's pre-weighed out in these 2 cups here, which is a total of 39.861 grams. And this is the MCT powder, also known as coconut milk powder. This is also great as a fat and also helps increases absorption of your cannabis. So that's already pre-weighed out into this cup here. And that was 13.287 grams. So let's get started. So the first thing I like to do is, other things you need is a balance, of course. This one is a milligram accuracy, so 0.001. And these, I'll have a link for these. These are pretty inexpensive and pretty accurate. Love these. A couple spoons, mini spatula you'll find on my links page, and a little rosin tool, which you probably have already if you make your own rosin. So the first thing first is I like to start out with the granulated lemon, because it is granulated, so it is almost like sugar in texture. And if we don't grind it up first, it will be gritty in the capsule, which isn't a big deal. But when you're punching them, you don't want these little gritty parts. And also, if you grind it to a powder, it will incorporate better into your powder. Yeah. And act as a better preservative that way. So just going to grind that up into a powder. There it is. Boom. Done. You just keep going till you kind of feel that it's not, you can almost feel the little bumps. Next thing I want to do is put the lecithin in there. So here's the lecithin. I'm just going to remove my mortar for a second, or my pestle. I'm just going to put that right on a spoon gently there. 1 second. Okay, so I'm going to get the lecithin out. Put that right in the mortar. And then we're going to be adding the rosin. So THC is good for pain. THC blocks pain in the brain. Doesn't do a whole lot in the body. I mean, it has some anti-inflammatory effects, but really it's blocking pain in the brain at the receptor sites there. We can go over that some other time too, but all right, so I'm just going to do the best I can to get this out of here. It's pretty sticky. That looks pretty good. Maybe I'll wipe it out a little bit later with some of these powders I have. So this is, you're always trying to keep as neat as possible here. Okay, let's get that rosin out of there. So I store my rosin in the refrigerator when I'm not using it. And then right before I go to use it, I pop it in the freezer for a few minutes, maybe 5 minutes, just to stiffen it up to get it out of these silicone cups. So this is 1.33 grams of rosin that's already been decarboxylated. And so I'm going to kind of squish it around like this, kind of roll it into a ball, and then just plop it into the mortar. And as you can see, it comes out pretty good. Nice and clean in there. Okay, so let's get that out of the way. Now what I like to do is mix the rosin and the lecithin together with the citric acid. So kind of blend these together. You can see it there. And then I'm going to add a small amount of my powders. And it doesn't really matter which one I start with. I'm going to start with the MCT powder. I'm just going to put a small amount in. What you usually do with this geometric dilution techniques is you pretty much mix in equal parts each time. So I just put what I thought was an equal part of what I had in my mortar already. And I'm going to mix that around. It's kind of lumpy a little bit. And I will be using my mortar, but right now, since it's kind of pasty, I'm going to use my spatula. I'm going to incorporate the rest of that citric acid. Put a little bit more in. There we go. It's coming out nice. I'm going to put the rest of that in. Give this a little tap to get that out of there. There you go. And mix that in. I'll show you what it looks like in a hot second here. So far, it's coming together. This formula of 1 gram of THC at 5 milligrams a capsule will make 200 capsules. Total cost here with the ingredients is only about 5 cents a capsule, which is incredible, right? I'm going to shake about half that of my powder in there. Mix that around. Incorporate that nice. What I'm looking for is uniform consistency. Want to make sure that each capsule contains the same amount. It's all about consistency. You'll have some variation with the rosin, of course, and also the strain. Some terpenes have slightly different effects than others. Sativa versus indica, I guess. That whole sativa indica thing is just a generalization of when you're picking something out maybe for the first time. Some indicas can kind of rile you up. Some sativas can calm you down. But okay, so I'm just going to try to get some of this more of this little bit of lecithin out of here, because every little milligram matters, right? So that looks pretty good. Just going to put that in there. This is coming out real good. Pretty happy with it. You kind of want, when you're punching the capsules, you want it to be powdery yet firm, so that when you punch the capsule, the powder's not like just flying around. So here we go. We're going to keep mixturing that in. I don't even know if I'll need my mortar, to be honest, or my pestle. Just going to shake that around a little bit. Maybe we'll give it a nice little turn with pestle, just for nice pharmaceutical technique here. Yeah, looking good. And then we'll put the rest of that buttered powder in. Got some on my spatula there. Let's not get that all over. All right, so that's pretty good. Mix that around. I love these little rosin tools. They're very handy. What I didn't go over, which we'll go over right now, is the actual capsule. So what we're using to fill this with is a capsule number 2 size. So capsules come in various sizes from 000 down to 5. 000 is the largest. I don't even know if a human can swallow it. It's pretty big. 5 is definitely tiny. So 2 is on the smaller side. This is what they look like, what we'll be using today. I definitely have particular colors for different strengths. These 5 milligram capsules I make are always, I call white, so the tops and the bottoms are white. That way, if I have a friend who calls me and says, oh, I just took a white, what was that? Or orange, what was that? I'll just know what it is. Plus, it's nice for consistency when you're just reaching into the refrigerator for them. Give it a push around. And when you're looking at it, you shouldn't see any parts that are darker or lighter than the others. It should be all nice and uniform. Like that. See that powder in there? Yeah, you got it. Yeah. So that looks great. I'm just gonna fluff it all up. Now I'll show you how I weigh a capsule. Okay, so what we're gonna do, put it on a plate. Like this. Get it all out of there. This mortar, by the way, is a 16-ounce mortar. And the pestle is just the regular size for it. You know, you can't go too wrong. If you're going to be buying a mortar, investing money in one, just get the 16-ounce. Don't buy the 8 or the 4. You'll just be disappointed. It's just annoying if it's too small. You have too many ingredients and your powder's coming out of the bowl. All right, now what you do here is you open your balance up. You want to make sure it's nice and flat, and you turn it on. And then what I always do is I double check it. So I have extra weights here, of course. And I'm wearing gloves, so that's okay. Usually people don't like touching their weights with their hands because any grease picking on them can affect the weight. And it's exactly 1 gram. And I can take a close-up of this for you that I'll post. Yeah. So that's 1 gram. I also like to check like a 10 gram, just so I know the balance is behaving like it should. Sometimes they'll be good at low range, but not high range. So that was spot on. I mean, that 10 was 9.99999, which was great. So I'm not going to punch all of these for you, because that would be 200 of them. But I'm just going to take a few out. Now these capsules here, the number 2s, can hold between 200 and 400 milligrams. Our goal total weight with the capsule is going to be 370 milligrams. The internal weight with the math from your formula here is 310 milligrams. So anyway, you fill them, you just kind of punch them so they feel kind of snug. And you cap it, and then you check it. And that's not there yet. It was 0.3, so a little firmer. Take the excess off. 0.33, need a little bit more. Once you get the feel for your powder, you'll be able to just bang these out. I can usually do about, if I'm really cruising, I can do about 7 a minute. Now you can have a little bit of variance, so you don't drive yourself crazy trying to get exactly 0.37. So for example, this one here is 0.371 grams or 371 milligrams. My goal was 370. So that's spot on, really. And then once you have it, you just squish it together and it will click. And then make sure your scale is set to 0 before you start the next one. So there you go. 5 milligram capsules using powdered butter and MCT powder and lecithin and citric acid by True Lemon here. All right, thank you. If you like it, say you liked it. I'll see you for the next video. Thanks, bye.